This is one of the fuels that I got to become this hard worker, entrepreneur, innovator. I want to show my father that I'm actually his son. So you have the ability to create or destroy what we say. So my father told me a few things that really destroyed me.
Like
Today, like if you're not well in your mental health, in the silence, you're always gonna get revelations.
Okay, one final question. Here we go. If you were to go back to your 18-year-old self and give him 30 seconds of advice, what would it be?
Please don't.
Alrighty guys, today's guest is an international lawyer, a developer, an entrepreneur, and an innovator that has experiences in law, business, and construction in several countries. Studying a law degree at 15 years old and then trying to get into politics to make an impact on the world, he soon realized the corruption and decided that it wasn't for him. Moving to the US and to start his own construction company, after having that explode to multiple countries, it ended him up here in Australia, where he is now one of the biggest builders here in all of Australia. So please help me welcome the guy who went from being a door boy at 6 years old for his mother's family business to now a multiple seven-figure business owner, having an impact in immigrants here in Australia through his mission. My man, my amigo, Diogo Giglio.
Wow, man, thank you. What an introduction. Bring it on. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Morgan Nelson, a man that is connected with himself, full of good energy, that not only attracted me here, but so many amazing people. Man, I've been hearing about you, and you know that the impact that we have with people is the feeling. And the day that I've met you in that event, the feeling that I had with you was a man with authenticity and integrity. And that's why I'm here today, because I want to also get to know you better. Thank you for your energy, brother.
I love it, brother. Thank you for your energy. This is
Here
good.
we
We're
go.
videoing this so people actually get able to see you, and they'll be like, this guy, like, and they get to ask questions like, what is this guy on? But then you're just saying, like, so, like, 'cause you're 28 years old now, right? I'm trying to dissect a bit of your life timeline. I was just putting your bio together. I'm like, this is wild. It seems like you've lived like 14 different lives in your short 28 years here. You've got one of the biggest building companies here in Australia. You started when you were 15. You also try to get into politics. So tell us, how does somebody at 28 years old have so much success, not only just in finances and business, but like you're also crushing in other areas of your life? Like, you're happy, you're healthy, you've got it rocking and rolling.
Thank
like
you so
you're
much,
in a different country where you were born. How does someone do that?
So, man, do you know the expression that says that 3 months of hard work can put you ahead in time in 1 year?
Yeah.
So imagine 28 years of hard work. So just putting this veil of hard work, saying no to so many temporary pleasures. You know what I mean? Because the more that a man grows in society, the more distractions and the more temptations you have. But I think I was so focused in my mission, and I knew such in a young age what I was doing here and why I was here and who I was, that I was able to say no to so many things. To imagine every day, Morgan, just an example, just one fraction of my life. Every day from Monday to Monday, you study on a library. You go every day to a library to study 12 hours a day. Not
Studying
in your
what?
office.
The law?
Law. Studying law and studying to become a lawyer before even passing the university, because it's so hard to pass in those universities on the other side of the planet. So all my memories is studying really hard, working really hard, being a very big geek. And I have memories that while everyone was playing soccer for the whole day, I used to come down 30 minutes, but in 10 minutes breaks. Everyone thought I was crazy. Who's this guy like coming to play soccer for 10 minutes and used to run back home to study again?
Really?
Yeah, so all my friends have those memories, said, this guy's crazy, but I was getting prepared to where I am today. So it's not something that started yesterday. It's something that started when I was really young, that the teacher came and said, guys, can you please do this homework? And I not only did the homework, but I did more. I researched more. I did a little bit more. So that's what I did.
Where did the desire come from? Like the necessity to actually do that at a young age? Like, you know, so many young people just want to, and back then when you were growing up, it wasn't a social media thing. So you couldn't be like, oh, you're following all these inspirations online. But so where does the desire come from to give up playing soccer as a kid? And you grew up in Brazil, which everyone's playing soccer.
Yes.
Where did the desire or the necessity to actually be like, what's more important for me is studying and working than having fun being a kid right now?
So, man, I believe the desire came mostly to show my father that I was his son. As crazy as can sound.
So he's a pretty successful guy, you said?
Oh, my father is he's diagnosed as a genius. I'm not. So my father is don't know how to explain to you. Like my father, but at the same time, his social energy, like he had me as a son, but he doesn't have much social energy to me. Do you know genius people?
He's kind of like that,
yeah.
right?
So my father, like I already spoke to you in this time since I got here more than with my father my whole life.
What?
Can you believe this is how? But I'm trying to work on this. Like I want to go to Brazil again, or he's gonna visit me soon. I'm gonna try to sit down and talk to him now that I'm getting older. But that what happened. So I had a father that everyone, the moment I woke up, that I was gonna go to sleep. Your father is this. Your father is this. Your father. So
what would they say? Your father is what?
Your father is, like you say in English, a top G. You know, like he's very smart. Like everything he does, every business he does. My father is electrical engineer, law degree. Like my father used to do tests competing against the whole East Side to become this position, and he used to pass like you have 10 hours to do a test. He used to finish in 2 hours, and he used to do like at school. A lot of people used to tell me studying electrical engineer that my father used to finish his exams, go to the toilet, do for 4 or 5 friends, bring back, and everyone A+++++. So he's very smart. So that was, I tried to show him that I was the same.
To meet up to his sort of standards.
But my father never came to me and said, good job or well done. Never.
Obviously you're aware of that now.
Aware of that now, but I was not aware at the time. Know what I mean?
Do you think it's an unhealthy habit for that?
Oh, very unhealthy habit. However, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So happened for a reason, made me the man that I am. This is one of the fuels that I got to become this hard worker, entrepreneur, innovator man was, wow, I want to show my father that I'm actually his son. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I was my whole life until today, I've been realizing this, getting to like these 30s now, that changes everything, is that I was always very sensitive with words from people. Because every religion in the whole world say that God created things through the mouth. So you have the ability to create or destroy what we say. So my father told me a few things that really destroyed me. But
like
today, like you're never gonna be someone in life.
Wow.
Yeah.
He said that to you.
Yeah, and I never understood why. Like I used to look, maybe because I was very different than him. I remember and that's why social media and becoming an adult and meeting several people made me very more open now, and I forgave my dad because I saw that it was only his perspective about me. Makes sense. Once you have a big following, like already experienced this, and maybe I'm back now, you see how many people, like for instance, because I always loved to dance, I used to dance Michael Jackson, everything. My father and a few other males on the family always used to come to me and say, oh, this guy is gay. I said, what do you mean I'm gay? I never had one thought about being gay. This really hurt me. Like I never like to hear something that I'm not. But then when you do online things and you start having videos exposed for millions of people, you see how many people think this about you. So I said, you know what? I'm going to forgive them because it's just a perspective about who I am, and I know who I am. So it took time. I think my father also had some issues on him, and that's the reason why he did this as well, but made me the man I am, and I'm very grateful for him today because my father really pushed me to my limits. I used to sleep, look to the ceiling in my house was 2 times 4, 3 times 8, and you open the doors. My father used to prepare me for like I was going to war, like all the verbs and these and languages and mathematics and mitochondria, all these all over the house.
Was it like looking back on your childhood now? Was it something that, do you still look back on it, and do you look back on it and be like, it was hard, or do you look back and be like, I still really liked it and you enjoyed? Like, did you enjoy the journey of work hard and doing all this stuff, or do you kind of, I guess, have any regrets of not going and playing soccer with your friends and doing these sorts of things?
Man, to be really honest with you, do you know when you're driving, you're just going the gear 1, 2, 3, that you don't even think? I just had a focus and went so quick. So I say, Dij, would you go back now one time? What would you do different? The only thing I would do different since a really young age is not let my family tell me to not go to cameras, because I always loved. So that's what I would put combined with what I was doing. More exposure to the online world that I believe is very important. This is one of the things I would change. But man, for not playing soccer, or for not doing those things, to be really honest with you, I don't regret, because I really enjoyed this journey, and I really enjoyed what I did. It was good to be where I am today. I wouldn't be where I am today if it was not because of this.
Because I think, like, you know, I know a lot about mine, right? And, you know, so you're talking from a young age, because it sounds like it's like what you developed as a high value for you. What you usually developed and understood as who you were, your identity, the reasons you were doing life. So you were actually, your behavior was in alignment with what you found was important. And at the time it was to do this for your dad and all that. And it's worked out really, really good for you. I think where it becomes really defeating for people is if they're 40 years old still trying to prove something for their dad, because then their values have shifted and they've changed and all these sorts of things. So when did you start to identify that, hey, I'm doing this stuff for the wrong reason? Then
I finished law.
When was that?
So I finished law. So man, just a long story short, at law school, I only got 1 mark that was not 10, that was 9.5. I finished law school 9.9. That's how much I studied. So I came to my father. I passed to be a lawyer, judge, prosecutor, chief of state. Say, Dad, here's everything to you. I'm not doing law. And then he just, and I got kicked out from the family.
Because you didn't want to.
I didn't want to continue any. It's like the memories that I have when I was a baby. Like I go back on my past. Boom, boom. This is the next judge of the federal court. No, this is the memory. Like my family.
That's what they wanted for you.
Yeah, but and I don't want this for me. I don't want to be a judge. I don't want to be like. I want to do something different. I want to be a dancer. Maybe. You know what I mean? That's what I was thinking. I want to be a dancer. I want to be an actor, or I want to not be a comedian. But imagine tell this to my family. Hey, I want to be a dancer. They would kill me. You know what I mean? So yeah. I lived until 19, 20, said, Dad, this is everything. I'm leaving. And my father came, got kicked out from the family. And then 95% of my friends, the elite, that everyone wants to be elite. Everyone wants to be rich and have nice cars and nice vault. But man, in a fraction of a night, you're going to see that 95% of them were never your friends. They all disappeared because I was driving cars that people could drop a bazooka that would nothing happen in Brazil and then I was with a bicycle. I can never gonna forget.
So when you got kicked out of the family,
I lost everything.
You lost the money and everything.
They cut it. They had access to everything. I had to restart my life. I had maybe $100 when they kicked me out, and I remember that I was so angry one day. This never happened to me before. Only time happened that I just did a little punch on the windshield of a car that was not even my car, and I broke the windshield. So all the money I had, I have to pay for that. And I was sleeping on someone's floor, and I was driving a bicycle that was a bicycle that after you go a little bit became a motorbike. And everyone listening like it. So imagine in the Gold Coast, you're driving nice cars and suddenly you don't have nothing. So then 95% of the people disappear. Only 5% stays, and these are your real friends. But then I started selling things, rapping at the beach, cupcakes.
What were you thinking then? Like, what were your next, like, and how old were you when this happened?
20.
So in my 20-year-old, you've grown up in a life of having everything you need by the sounds of it, driving badass cars, and then lost everything.
I never paid one bill. Put in this way, you know what I mean? Like, and I everything, like, I don't know how to even explain to you.
So what was going through your head?
What was going through my head is my next step was I'm gonna start through the bottom. I'm gonna open a successful company here, and I'm gonna move to the States. This is what was in my mind. So I start selling stuff at the beach, rapping, cupcakes. Then I had an opportunity to bring these balls. You know those balls that the kids run inside of the balls? I brought those balls to the lakes in Brazil. Then I start charging.
The what balls?
Do you know those aqua balls that the kid go
like
in
the
the
big
zipper?
fucking yes.
I just saw these online. Said I'm gonna invest on this. So I sold. I said I'm gonna invest on this. Then I brought those balls, and then suddenly lines and line of kids because I always love kids.
This is in Brazil, yeah.
Yeah, this was in South America, and then I started. And then this guy came from a shopping center that I met. Said, hey, would you like to put those toys on a shopping center? I said yes, but not only those toys. I'd like to put these and these. And then I brought the Oculus Rift, remember, was the first one to bring to South America. And then I had a business was making $60K a month of American dollars. So as soon as I reached the third month, I left immediately. So I made it, but they raised a machine. You know what I mean? Yeah. I saw how my family did business. So I'm very grateful for them.
So what are some of the keys, right? For the people listening to this, they were like, damn, like I want to grow a business, or maybe they've got a business, or they've got this idea. I think a lot of people could relate to you of even you had a dream inside of you, or even if it wasn't 100% clear just yet, you knew what you didn't want to do, which was law. So talk to us about what advice would you give the people that are like, hey, what I really want to do, I'm afraid to tell my parents really, or the people around me that I want to go after this, I want to create this, or I don't want to do this. and this is actually what I want to do. How do they navigate that in their life?
Oh man, you make me emotional because I remember that one of the happiest days in my life, even though it was really hard. I'm being vulnerable here. I received a slap on my face. It was one of the worst. Do you know what is to receive a slap on your face?
Like a physical slap?
A physical slap.
I've copped many.
You know how it is, and you cannot do anything because I wouldn't. Man, I never did this to my family or my parents. Look, why? Not even this tone of voice. It's just okay, Father. I respect that I could, because it's a cultural thing. He slapped on my face, but then I left the door with only a little suitcase, so happy. And I said, wow, I should be done this in where I would be today, I thought, when I was leaving the door. So I was leaving.
If you had to do it sooner.
If I did sooner. So what I tell you is, please do yourself a favor to your soul. If you feel that you're doing something that is not aligned to yourself, the time is now. It's now. You have to stop everything you're doing and remove whatever is making you sad, because every single day you're killing yourself little by little. And when you're brave enough to say, do you know what? I'm actually gonna start painting. I'm a painter. I'm not an accountant. This day is gonna be very crazy. It's gonna be very scary, but it's gonna be such a joyful day. Because man, until today, there was not one car that I feel happier than that bicycle that I was.
Wow.
Never. The joy that I had with that bicycle. Said, wow. I'm not the elite anymore. Like, no one is seeing me as elite. I love this feeling. It was a good feeling. It didn't last long. You know what I mean? Everyone knew me. I think a lot of people was doing business to me because they wanted to help. I'm going to be honest. And also, please don't compare yourself with me, because I also came from a family that gave me I observed a lot. Makes sense? Like, it's way easier for me. I studied in the best private schools you can imagine. I had the best private teachers, did the best English course and languages, was sent to travel the whole world, I had the best everything. So I'm very grateful for this. But I used the opportunity to be who I am. So when I was 20, kicked out from the family.
Yeah. But like one thing, like even, because you're a hard person to relate to, right? Like maybe not everybody went through that, but here's one thing, because like me and you grew up in different households completely. Like my upbringing wasn't bad, but it was just very normal. It was very normal. But then when I was going through high school and stuff, I failed nearly every single thing. There was no support kind of outside school. It was very mediocre. It was very, it was just middle kind of here in Australia. But like one thing I learned after school was I want to be successful. I want to have money. I want to travel. I want to do stuff. But the one thing I really went to town on developing was an attitude within to actually not let my fears and all these sorts and doubts control me, right? Because that's the main thing. And even at my Dream Out Loud method, right? I run that. You should see some of our events, Diego. You should come.
Man, I want to know more about you, Morgan. I want to see more.
But the Dream Out Loud method is like pretty much what I've learned myself over the last 8-9 years of from 21 years old, completely emotionally and financially broke, then financially free at 23 and badass shit to now. I've put all of that into a 3-day program for people. But day one is discovering what you were just talking about. What is that inner genius within? What is that passion? What is that desire? But then when we do that, then it arises all the reasons why we can't, which then we take day 2 and day 3 to destroy all that shit. So I know that fears comes up, doubts come up, limiting beliefs come up, values, conflicts and stuff come up. So what's your advice for somebody who is scared, right? So I'm sure you would have been probably pretty frightened to tell your dad. You probably would have already knew what was going to happen.
It took me 20 years,
right?
It took me 20 years to think about this. I thought about that day every day since I remember myself.
So how does somebody overcome the fear, right? 2 things. How do they overcome their fear of having hard conversations? Not even just this, just hard conversations in general that involve them pursuing what they know is right for them. And then 2, how do they overcome any sort of the internal battle of going like, shit, was this the right decision? Should I not? Because it's not just like you go for it. How did you kind of overcome that? Because now you're on your own.
Yes.
And you had to rebuild. So what's your advice to them?
Oh, thank you very much, man. What a good question. Switch it on. Smart, clever. So for people that are avoiding or is hard to have a hard conversation, I can guarantee you, and psychologists are going to tell this, therapists are going to tell this, doctors, people that know personal development, Tom Robbins, everyone, Joe Dispenza, all these guys, that when you have a hard conversation with someone, you're actually doing a benefit for mankind. You're actually helping society to move forward. Because everything that we have today, if you think, came from hard conversations. How many people have to die for us to be sitting on this table today. Have you ever thought about it? How many people have to save the country? How many people have to really give their lives for us to be where we are today? So once you think about a bigger picture and you realize that a hard conversation is important in your life, not only for you, but a society in general, you're going to start understanding more. And the crazy thing is that research shows that after having a hard conversation with someone, shows that most of that relationships are going to get stronger. So, people don't realize this at the time. Come to someone and say, hey, do you know what? I think you mess up with this, or do you know what? I don't want to do this. Because today it's so much easier if you come to someone. Imagine you're meeting someone. Okay, you meet a girl and you're fall in love with a girl, and vice versa. How much better is for you to come and say, hey, this is who I am. Know what I mean? And it's a hard conversation. I know you're different, but I'm this way. But listen, live your life. I'm gonna live mine, and let's meet in between. It's gonna be such a better and healthy relationship. A job now. Imagine how nice. And I always tell this to everyone that works with me. Your other question. I always tell everyone that works with me, from the guy that is cleaning the toilet, from the guy that is supervising everyone. If you're not well in your mental health, and if you're not grateful, stop everything that you're doing, and we're gonna talk. If you're not well in your mental health, forget about anything to do with work, especially where I do in construction. And if you're not grateful, I would like you to stop working with us. Thank you for everything. But man, how can you have someone that is not even grateful to be around you? So that's a good question for you to ask everyone that you work. Sometimes come to your PA out of the blue. Hey, are you grateful to work with me? Tell me, I'm giving you an opportunity now. It's a hard conversation. What do you don't like about me? There's not one time that I didn't do this that all my workers have something to say. Did, to be very honest, in that day you pour water for you and not for me. I said, what? Didn't even pay attention. So sorry. Yeah. Or in that day you saw me in a supermarket and didn't say hello, but I didn't even see him. Makes sense? So sometimes there are little things that you need to give the people the space to be vulnerable and honest with you as well.
How do you find the balance of being a people pleaser?
Bro, you're so deep.
And making sure you're a kind, caring person for everyone around you? There is a fine line. I'm curious to know how do you discover that?
I always joke to my inner circle that being a people pleaser, I could be at 9 digits today easy if I was not a people pleaser. Makes sense? So people pleasing took me money, took me energy, made me anxious, depressive. It's really the opposite, in my opinion, of being a kind man. Because what I think, people pleasing and being kind, the attitude usually is going to be the same. Oh, here, let me help you. Let me give to you. But the people pleaser is, you see those people more than you. You think they only going to be with you if you do this. You don't think you're worthy of them. So that's why you're doing. You want to please them. You want to, I'm going to give money to this person so this person stay with me. Oh, I'm going to do this to my father. Look how much I was a people pleaser. I was doing my whole life for my father. Can you believe I was living his life for my family? So, but when you're kind, hold on for a second. I'm connected to myself. I know who I am, and I'm going to be generous and I'm going to be kind to people that I choose to be generous. That's what I tell everyone around me, because I support so many people like financially today, that I say, don't expect me to be generous. Allow me to be generous. When those people, like you go out with some mates and everyone just expects you to pay no, hey, hold on. Let me be generous. So that's, for me, is a kind man, someone that is direct and that do a kind person. They do not because they want to please you, but they do because this is their nature, and they understand the law in the universe, that the more you give, the more you receive.
What's up, Dream Nation? Have you ever wondered how far ahead your life would have already been if you had got access to this type of content at a younger age? Look, this is why I need your help. I'm trying to build the #1 personal development platform out there to teach you guys the tips, tricks, and attitude of what it takes to live your dream life, and to bring the type of education that we all wish we had in school. This show only grows by word of mouth and new subscribers, so it would mean the world to me if you could smash that subscribe button right now, leave us a 5-star written review, or drop a comment below and share this episode with a friend. I would be forever grateful. All right, now let's get back into this episode. So back to what you're talking about. So your workers, right? So you're telling your workers, so if there's any day where you're not grateful,
let me know.
Any day you're not happy, and if your mental health is not good, let me know. How do you? What are some things that you do in your life, or you even probably infect into your companies, to allow people to have a good balance of great mental health and a solid work ethic?
Man, I only go to my office. I only do work phone calls today, especially going to my office if my cup is really filled.
So how do you?
Full.
So you fill your cup first.
I overflow my cup.
How do you do this?
Man, first of all, I have my spirituality, how I see things. I believe in God in my own way, but I never been member of a church, but I look to this higher force and I have faith and I believe in the Bible. I believe in the history of Jesus and many others. So I have this faith. I really stop, and some people call meditation like crawling, the way that I pray. So I brainstorm my last day, my present, where I want to go. So this is what I do first. I really have this spiritual moment.
So talk us through this. What do you do?
So man, what I do is I really like believing that there is a high. I can give you an example what I did this morning. Okay?
Yeah, tell us. What do you do this morning?
I sat in front of the sun while my boy was still sleeping, and just sat down, and I started to remember, because it's very important for us. I always say 70% the present, 20% the future, and 10% the past. So I had a little moment on the past.
70% present,
20% future. 10% past. If you try to apply this formula in your day-to-day, you're going to be a successful person. You're not going to be anxious, not going to be depressed, you're going to be grateful.
That's solid, hey, 'cause I think mine's definitely back to the front. It's like I'm a massive visionary. And I say to my partner, my team all the time, I'm like, I'm really good at living 5 years in the future. Like I'm great at predicting the scalability and the growth of all this. And I know that's also where a lot of my problems come from when they do arise. I'm like yesterday, I was literally booking tickets to Bali. I'm like, I'm still contemplating. I might fly out tomorrow.
When are you going to Bali?
Sorry, Sunday. I might fly out on Sunday just because I was going to fucking go to Bali. But like, it was because I was like, fucking over everything. And I'm thinking, Bali, go to Bali.
Are you going to be in Bali the first week of April?
You're going?
I will.
I don't know. Oh yeah, I may be there. So we'll talk on Sunday. I'll let you know on Sunday. I may go, I may not.
Yes, we see how you go.
But I love that formula. So keep going on that formula. Keep
70% in the present, 20% in the future, and 10 in the past. So I sat down and I just looked how my day was yesterday. And I started to feel so grateful for every single detail, for seeing a time that was a number that has a meaning to me, for seeing a butterfly flying, to see myself healthy, to see business prospering, to see this beautiful person that is coming in my life day by day, and our relationship growing so much more. So I started to fill my cup, being grateful the last day. And what could I do better yesterday? And then I see about some moments that I didn't act like I wanted, or I didn't do things that I want. So I have a self-reflection. Then I come to the present. And I started to think, wow, look where I was born. Look where I am. Look what I'm achieving. Look at the people around me. I'm so grateful. There must be a reason. And I look to the sky and I just say, thank you for the gift of life. That's one of the many things that I do to fill my cup. Before I was here, I did 1,000-calorie session. Before here, like the personal trainer, he kills me. He's like, boom, go. I eat, bro. He's no shirt, the middle of a garage, like so hard. So that's another thing that I do. Another thing that I do is having a mentor, someone that is sometimes older than you. Doesn't need to be older. Have a mentor that is young, one that is older, that can help you in business. People that you look up. You know what I mean? Having and so much more. You know what I mean? I think it's very important for a man to also have a feminine energy with him. I've been learning this now, and this energy can really balance your life and can really make you believe in yourself. Because when you have another person that believes on you, so think about a healthy diet. So think about all those things, and then all those things I'm doing, and then arrive in the office. What do you think I'm gonna give? Everything you can imagine. Bring the problems. I'm gonna give everyone the solutions. I have clarity in my mind. So 20% the future. Let's plan out the future. Where are we going? We have a meeting at 10 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. How are we gonna do this meeting? Let's plan this meeting. Let's really focus. Let's bring what is good for us, because we deserve. So that's pretty much it. Giving what I have.
Yeah. So so when you're talking future, is this like manifestation practices, or is this more productivity practices? Like, hey, how are we gonna kill the day today? Or are you thinking, hey, these are our goals for the year, 5 years?
So I'm a very balanced man between faith and between reality. Faith is to be 100% sure that something that you cannot even see will happen. For instance, I'm 100% sure that this is the person of my life, because I cannot even see, but I know. Well, I'm 100% sure that this business will work out. Okay. I'm talking with two different things. Let's go to business. Okay, your business is going to be very successful, but you cannot even be waiting and not do anything. It's going to be successful. I have the vision. Will happen. Do you guys believe with me? I believe. So we're going to do this, taxes, and let's get a software, and let's build houses. Let's sell to more clients. Let's get more workers. Let's bring more everything. Relationship. Do you believe it's going to happen? Okay, so let's communicate. Let's talk about love language. What are your values? So do you understand the balance? You need to put work, but you need to believe as well. Because if you only work or if you only believe, you're not going to do anything.
Yeah. So you're a massive high achiever, right? That's evident.
Yes.
15 years old, you decided to become a fucking lawyer and politician and everything, right?
That's so amazing.
Do you still have this desire? Like, because one thing for me, like I'll say about me, as much as like I definitely do struggle with this department still, because I'm always like, in my eyes, nothing's ever growing fast enough still.
I understand. Thanks for sharing, man.
And it wasn't just until like probably the last like couple of months where I've been like, because I'm aware of, like, I'm always self-checking and be like, why is this frustrating me or whatever. I'm like, and as much as everyone around me would say like, okay, but look how much you've fucking done. And look, like in the last 14 months, I've developed 7 programs and built this whole thing from scratch and yada, yada. But I'm like, no, but it's still not big enough. We need bigger here. Blah, blah, blah. So definitely for me, so when you're talking about, going to the office and you're doing the things, for the people who are like just these self-diagnosed high achievers like me that always feel like, and I know you mentioned it before as well, like I feel like things weren't growing fast enough. What are some things you do to balance when you come into the office and things aren't as big as what you'd like them to be yet? Not as growing as fast as you want. You want more people you're helping. You want more income and all this. How do you balance between going like, wow, I'm so grateful for how far we've come still, but also like, how do you have that so you don't leave the day and actually be like pissed that it's not growing fast enough?
How amazing that we have this, like we have different journeys, but we have so much in common, you and I, because I already been there. So what I do today is sometimes once a week, sometimes twice, I get a piece of paper and I start remember everything that I heard in that week that was good about me. Like when you give me a compliment, this means that you're uplifting another soul. How beautiful, man, to come to some. I love girls when they do this. Wow, your nails are beautiful. Wow, beautiful bag. That's so nice, man. So I write down, what are people talking about me? All the compliments, so I can read. And then I start writing, what did I been achieving? Where I am? And I start writing and reading. Because high achievers, every high achiever like us, they also come with something that I don't know if that's the right expression. I know another word in the Latin, but in English what comes to my mind is cursed. We're also cursed. We have a curse that we never think it's enough.
I was talking about
this. We never think we did anything, but that we need to. So that's what I fight for. I write down everything that I'm achieving, and then I can read, wow, I'm actually so grateful where my life is. And then you start, and then does that, because it's a curse. You never 100%.
Think it's a. I was talking about this yesterday.
I looked to myself and said, didn't do anything, but one don't did. What do you mean didn't do anything? Look how many people are eating because of you. Just an example.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
I was literally talking about my partner yesterday. I'm like, and I was listening to a podcast of Tom Bilyeu. You know Tom Bilyeu?
No, I don't know.
Impact Theory. He's like, he built $1 billion company. He's got one of the top podcasts out there for like business and entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And he's talking about the same thing. And he's like, I work harder now. He's like, I never have to work a day the rest of my life ever again. I'm rich as fuck. He sold their company for over $1 billion.
Yeah, wow.
He's like, but I work harder now than I ever have. And he's like, because it's just who I am. And he's talking about like, and I'm like, fuck, I can relate to this. Where on one hand, I'm like, I'm so grateful for my desire and ambition that I just get shit done and create awesome shit. But on the other hand, sometimes I'm like, fuck, it'd also be good to, like, I'm somewhat, and it's only very momentarily, but sometimes I see people and they're just chilling, they're happy with what they got. And I'm like, fuck, it'd be good to just not have I've got to do more all the time. Sometimes I'm like, sometimes I'm a little envious that this person can actually just be like, I'm good with everything here. And I'm like, wow, that'd be good to
stress us out.
It'd be good to have that feeling and be like, wow, I feel really good. But I guess my like big goal for myself is to be able to really integrate the both of them, because I know it can happen. It is to integrate them in a healthier way where I can be so joyfully grateful of everything I'm done and what we're doing and know everything's working, but push the needle and push that bar a little bit more so we can keep going, but doing it without sort of killing myself.
Wow. When I was really young, when I was younger, I was in a pace that was so fast, my pace. I don't know why, like I was running to the library after school so I could save 2 minutes. You know what I mean? Like it was so fun. I was such a funny guy, man. I was so running so I could save 2 minutes to study. And then this monk came to me, like a monk.
In Brazil?
This was in Canada, actually. He came to me, this monk. Can I talk it to you? Talk it to you? I said, yes, you can. No matter how fast you go, with a different accent, no matter how fast you go, you can go very fast. We are humans. We are superhumans. But have breaks during your day. And that changed my life, man. So no matter how fast you go, have breaks during your day. And research science shows that our heart can go boom, 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 boom. But if you just a few moments in your day, you're back to normal.
Yeah.
We are creators, man. We are here to create. You know what I mean? Like we are here to really achieve, like, look at, Nikola Tesla?
Yeah.
Someone came to Albert Einstein and said, Einstein, what is to be the smartest man on planet Earth? And he said, don't ask me, ask Nikola Tesla. I have a tattoo here, 369. That is exactly what he brought. If you master the keys of 3, 6, and 9, you master the keys of the universe.
What is this?
It's a long story. I want you to research. 3, 6, I want you to research that one. I want you guys to research. It's a very full-on one.
Research 369.
369. Nikola.
All right.
I want to ask you something now. If you don't mind. I have something to ask you quickly.
Yeah.
What is your mission?
I was just going to ask you that.
Wow. How do you explain?
I was going to ask you how, because I know one of the things you're doing with the building company is helping the immigrant stuff.
Yes.
And that you mentioned that's your mission. So I want you to tell people after I answer this how they can discover their mission and why a mission drives you. Because that's why I know why I do what I do. Like I was financially free at 23. I moved to Mexico. I was chilling. I could still just chill in Mexico, surf every day, and not
Crypto or e-commerce?
network marketing actually.
Network marketing. Wow. Herbalife?
No, it was a company Isogenics.
Isogenics.
Yeah.
American company?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well done.
So I found that at 21 because I was a carpenter. Actually, I was a carpenter, and I found network
I
marketing.
see you as a carpenter now, to be honest.
Yeah, and I started that at 21 years old, and I saw it as a way to build something on the side because I was not smart, I was not business savvy, I was not even an entrepreneur. I just had to. I just wanted to be rich, but I saw this, and I was like, maybe I could do it. That worked, But I could just be sort of chilling and doing that. But my big mission was, I guess through that, I really understood. I came out the other side. Like, I saw the darkest days, but then I saw that here I'm 23 years old now, living on the beach in Mexico, having more freedom than I ever had. And I'm like, if more people knew the things I knew, they could also have this level of freedom.
Wow.
And then
You had an awakening.
Yeah, like I just become absolutely obsessed on personal development and figuring out how I did it, then how other people do it. Then I did it for years and years and years. Then I started this podcast, and then it sort of birthed into, now I run all these training events and programs, and I could do my business. And I was thinking about today, I could do my business in an easier, more profitable way, but I don't because I create a bigger impact the way I do it, in-person events and
So
live
you don't
like
even
this.
need, so can I tell that you don't even need the money that you make? You're still financial free since 23.
It's changed. It's changed now, right? Because my lifestyle. Well, now I've got a team. I like my expenses.
You're
now.
investing.
Yeah, everything's changed now. If I was to completely cut everything back on my lifestyle, like on the things I've created and go find a little spot, I could borderline probably still just chill, very very okay.
I understand.
I'm not living a gangster lifestyle or anything, right?
Yeah.
But at one point we got that to well over 7 figures, doing 7 figures in sales every single year, but we're profiting like well over 6 figures. But it was all residual, right? And it was cool. But the thing for me now is building proper companies, and like I'm 29, so we've got the events business now. The big mission for this is to impact lives of 1 million people and teach them the skill set and mindset that they didn't learn in school, so they can create a life of freedom and impact. That's the big mission.
Whoa. Yeah, I'm not going to even reply mine anymore. Wow, that was amazing.
How did you discover...
Snail.
Tell us, quickly before we wrap this up, because quickly tell us your quick mission, what you're doing.
So my mission, I believe I'm the bridge between different cultures. I believe I'm here to connect. That's why I believe my soul was born in a third world country with a first world country mentality that I always had. I think I'm here to connect people, connect ideas, connect civilizations, because I really believe that the future, near future, we all gonna be one, man. It's already happening. I'm a very mixed race. You're a bit mixed. You see people here in the room. We're all becoming more and more mixed. Soon we're not gonna be able to identify who is from where. If you think so, I believe that's a lot of this. My sole purpose also to connect people and make us as one. This financial freedom is something that I think, but like I'm an abundant man. I was born in an abundant place. Like I'm very abundant. So it's something that I already came with this. Very luckily I already came with that. But if you say, Dij, would you change all the luxury that you had to have a present father in your life? I would.
Yeah.
So it's all about perspective. Makes sense? I would change all those private jets, helicopters, boats, know what I mean, to have a present father in my life. However, I'm very grateful because if every super successful man I met, they didn't have a very big father figure. So make us the men that we are.
Dude, I love this because it's really looking back on things that have happened in your life and making them not the reasons why you can't, but the reasons why you are, the reasons why you can, and the reasons why you must. And I think everyone's got a story, big or bad. Like people have gone through the most craziest things, but I've talked to people. I've had people come to me with the most ruthless shit you could never even imagine. You never wish upon your worst enemy to ever have in your life. And then these are the reasons why they've become the person they need to be.
Oh, yes.
But then I've met people that have been like, one day, I grew up in this perfect family, and my dad he didn't notice me one day, and I developed that he didn't love me, and then you know what I mean? It's like, so trauma is trauma. Like there's no really
no matter what it is
degrees. It's like trauma is trauma, but it's the meanings we create around it. It's the perception we give it and then the power we give it, right? But what I love is that you've been actually self-reflect and go back and be like, well, I can't change the way it is, so how can I use this as my fuel, my driver, add it into your mission and actually do freaking good shit in the world with it.
Exactly. And man, I would like to be honest as well, because I'm talking one aspect of my life that I didn't like, that was really hurtful, that really brought traumas to my life. I have to spend a lot of time, money, and energy rebuilding my whole life. But I can tell you another million reasons that it was amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because also growing up with a genius father that is very honest and very flawless is a privilege.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be close to this energy. You know
Super quick for people listening and watching this right now, how did they discover their mission?
Man, first of all, you need to know what you are not. I always tell this. You need to do a list and say, what I'm not. Are you a doctor? No. Are you a lawyer? No. Are you a bookkeeper? No. So easy to do everything that you're not. Once you can do what you're not, then you're just going to have a few ones that are going to remain. It's very easy. Going to be just a few. So what do you want to be? Like they did a research in America recently and asked all the kids, like many kids, what do you want to do when you grow up? And most of the kids said influencer. Came to China, astronaut. Crazy. So influence. So do you want to be an influencer? So this is what you want, your soul. So, okay, I want to do this. This is my mission. But inside of this, what really brings your heart? What burns your heart? You know what I mean? And then you start asking those questions to you. And you need to be patient. And you need to understand that in the silence, you're always going to get revelations. You also get confirmations when you're still. Because you have so many answers within. I believe we all came with a mission. I believe we all came with a purpose. I believe we all came here in a journey. And once you stop and you realize what you are, you're going to be able to achieve. And no matter, and man, when you align to yourself, I don't know, everyone is trying to do videos. I don't know if I can be an influencer. Man, remember me. English is not my first language. Came here again with nothing. Today, there is no limit. We are human beings. We are here to create. The aliens should be scared of us. Try to come take Earth. You're gonna see the Homo sapiens who we are. Is that true? Try to come and touch our kids. You're gonna see what we can achieve. We are really. I think humans are sensational phenomenals. We have so much. And listen, we only use 20% of our brain.
I think less. I think dolphins use 20%.
20. So we use 15?
I think we use under 5%.
And you know that under 5, and let's say 10, because I think, say 10. So use 10% of our brain. And research in Harvard showed that we're only productive 20% of the time, an average man. So 10%, 20%, we use 2% of our brains. So this is 2% of our brain. So if me and you are 60% productive, we're using 6% of our brain. So then we are way above average. So that's why we achieve things that people not achieving. And what happened? Those people that are not using their brains and are not being productive, they see what we have. I want to have what they have, but put the work. You know what I mean? Wake up and do the work. Wake up and and you're gonna achieve, because That's what I say. You either win with us or watch us winning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there is space for everyone.
I love it, brother. Mate, this has been
amazing. What a good podcast.
Where can everybody find you on social media?
Yeah, social media Diogo Giglio with a no in the end. Know what I mean? And that's pretty much it for now. I have many projects coming up and many things being built. It's been a year of planting, collecting. Business is going good. I've been, shining bright like a diamond, as I always say. And Morgan, can I wish you something, man?
You can wish me everything.
I wish you peace, prosperity, self-control, patience, love, a lot of money in your life, freedom, a lot of people from everywhere in the planet. I wish you translators that can translate you ahead of vision and that you can keep being who you are, my man. I appreciate you. And you have Morgan Nelson because it's an impactful name. And wherever you go, you're going to be bringing this energy. I'm part of your community. We're from the same soul tribe. Nice to again meet you. And please, have a successful life.
I love it, brother. You know, you think we're done yet, though.
Oh, I thought we were done. My gosh.
One final question.
Here we go.
If you were to go back to your 18-year-old self and give him 30 seconds of advice, what would it be?
Please don't date any girls until you find the one. Don't date any girls. Wait. Sorry. Women can take a lot from you. I would say this.
Thank you so much for listening. And if you got value from this episode, it goes such a long way. If you can just take 20 seconds of your time, leave me a 5-star rating and written review, then screenshot this episode and share it to your story. And make sure you tag me for that shout out. And until next time, guys, go out there and dream out loud.